One thing I would ask, actually, since you mentioned the Jankos topic, so let's keep going on that, was one time, I think it was like a Crackdown episode or something, I was like hyping up Jankos and saying, like, people don't even realise like all the things he's done. Like, think about it, he was on the H2K team, then he was your team, he's had all these top places. And you actually said, whether it was just like, I don't know, the enthusiasm, no one, someone can ask you now, you said a really telling line, which is you said he might actually be the best player I've ever played with. Now, obviously, that would really shock most people because he played with Caps and he's obviously the big name. People think of the highlight. What would you mean by something like that, or how were you thinking of him as a player, Jankos, in this regard? Because I know what you mean in that sense. Like, I've heard the same thing, by the way, from a lot of people, that they think he was like sort of the one that the structure of the team of G2.
I mean, it's like it's so hard to say also without even disrespecting the other players, because obviously like that lineup was, I guess, the greatest.
It was a super team, let's be real.
Yeah, right. Course. So it's like, and I think everyone was super good, and like I loved all of them. Like, I don't have anything, actually bad to say about any. I mean, of course, you can always say bad things about somebody, you can always point out their flaws, I have millions of them, right? But like, I think what Jankos contributed, I guess, like in everyday practice, is that's maybe what I mean. Because like, let's say, like, I was troll picking a lot. Me and Miki were troll picking a lot. We played shit like Rakan knew me, Elise knew me. Like, I don't know, we played like Sejuani, Renekton bot in streams, and like we were like trolling a lot. Like, I definitely can't say I was the biggest benefitter on that team, Capsule, for example, like a lot of streams just be silent, and like, do his thing as well. So I would say Jankos probably like gave from my perspective, like he gave the most effort into like making the team stable throughout those 2 years, without like taking away anything from anybody else. So yeah, that's basically what I guess. If I mentioned that somewhere, I probably said it because of that, because I guess that's how I felt.
Yeah, it's a good explanation.
Yeah.
One thing I would say along these lines, by the way, is I can't remember whether it was, I assume it was Grabs or something, but I'm pretty sure I also had someone on one of my shows who said, and when they said this, I started watching this dude, and when I could see it, I was like, holy shit, he's doing an amazing job, right? A similar thing. People said back in the day, especially like Caps, like he'll talk sometimes, but he's not like a guy who's just talking all the time, etc. And so they said, one of the things they were really impressed with Jankos is, if you ever watch the amount of times on the map he's able to sort of like shadow where Caps is going to be and get back to mid lane when he needs to be for like the counter gank. He said when they're doing that, he said you have to realise, like, he's just doing that from his own brain. Like, no one's telling him that. He's just reading the map. Yeah,
100% true. Jankos is like by far the smartest jungler in the West. Like that, there is, or like the guy who understands the macro the best. And actually, I'm really interested to see how G2 does without Jankos. Like just as a side note, like I think it's gonna be a big shock for them in official games. But we will see. I think they have super good squad. But I want to see it actually, because I play with Jankos, and it's like Jankos is the guy who you don't have to tell where to go. And usually, from my experience with junglers, you have to tell them where to be and what to do. And with Jankos, you don't, because he just did it himself. And that's just super impressive. He understands the champions, understands the winning conditions, understands the game super well. So yeah. That's it, yeah.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.